His argument here is that the New Testament documents cannot be inerrant because we no longer have the original autographs. All we have are copies of copies of copies that are filled with thousands and thousands of mistakes. Now, this is extremely misleading, Nathan. The New Testament is the best attested book in ancient history, both in terms of the number of manuscripts and in terms of the nearness of those manuscripts to the date of the original. Textual scholars, by comparing these thousands of manuscripts with each other, are able to reconstruct the text of the original autographs to about 99% certainty. There are about 138,000 words in the New Testament, and only 1,400 of those words remain uncertain as to their reading. And those words are utter trivialities. They are things like, in 1 John chapter 1, the author says, "We write this that our joy may be full." But some manuscripts say, "We write this that your joy may be full." Is it our or your? Nothing hangs upon that kind of trivial uncertainty. So only about 1% of the New Testament concerns words that are uncertain, and those are complete trivialities. And that's why when I learned Greek in college, I can pick up my Greek New Testament, and when I read it, I know that 99% of the words that I am reading are the original words penned by Luke or by Paul or by John. That's how well textual scholars have been able to reconstruct the original text. And Bart Ehrman knows this. He is a textual scholar. He knows this. And so his fellow New Testament scholars have differentiated between two Bart Ehrmans. There's scholarly Bart, who knows this, and then there's popular Bart, who deliberately misleads laypeople by writing controversial and sensationalist books that are bestsellers. But he knows the difference between the two. This was very evident on a radio program that I heard in 2008 when Ehrman was interviewed. And after describing all these copyist errors that we saw in the clip, the interviewer says to Ehrman, "Well, what do you think the New Testament originally said?" And Ehrman said, "I don't know what you mean. I don't understand you." And the interviewer said, "Well, what do you think these New Testament documents originally said?" And Ehrman said, "Well, they said pretty much what the text says today." And the interviewer said, but you said there were all these copyist mistakes." And Ehrman says, "Yeah, but we've been able to reconstruct the text." So he knows this, but for the sake of sensationalism and honestly, or dishonestly, misleading unsuspecting and innocent laypeople, you get this kind of misrepresentation.